Babe, are you seriously joking me? After all that I've been telling you.
Babe, I ain't did that.
No, that's near your eyeball.
Don't touch mine. Hey guys, and welcome to Marriage and Money. We know, it's been a while, but we took a break so we can give you more information and goodies. So before we even give you those goodies, don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel so you can continue with us on the journey of marriage and money. So, financial lifestyles.
Yes.
What's your financial lifestyle? Have you ever thought about it? Did you even know you had one? Well, every single person, including you and your spouse, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, or fiance, your lovebirds, you all have different financial lifestyles. And today, we're going to check out the 3 most common financial lifestyles, whether you might think you're closest to, you might have identified with other people's lives, and how you can also develop your financial lifestyle so you can continue to enjoy managing your money in a healthy, wise, and effective way. So, financial lifestyle number 1.
The borrower.
The borrower, or since if you're together, the borrowers. So these couples are people where they just love to borrow money, whether it's loans, whether it's credit cards. Everything they spend on is with credit cards. Their possessions is not really theirs, and they literally have to make payments every single month. If they go shopping, it's a credit card. Clothes is a credit card. Car, holidays, it's the credit card.
Or
loans. And you know, they're impressing their friends, impressing their families. Family and friends are showing approval to them, and they're just loving it. Like, they don't even care about savings. You know, they don't even care about the future. They're like, you know what, let's live for today.
Yeah.
The future can wait, you know? Like, we don't need to wait for things. We don't need to delay our pleasure. Like, you know, let's enjoy our pleasure right now. So that's how they roll. And without knowing their debts are building, but they just, you know, pay the minimum payment each month. You know, as long we just, you know, make the minimum payment, you know, be consistent. You know, no one's gonna be chasing after us. And that's the lifestyle of the borrowers.
And basically the consequences of this is if something was to happen, let's say if someone gets ill and they can't work anymore, or they have an emergency, the car breaks down, the boiler breaks down, something that you can't predict, there would be no cash stored anywhere for them to be able to pay for that expense, and that can put them under a massive financial strain. This is not one of the best financial lifestyle to live, because they personally don't have any net worth, because they have nothing to show for it, nothing, because everything is just borrow, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's financial lifestyle number 1.
And just to add on to that, the borrowers will always be a slave to the lender.
True.
And you don't want to be a slave to the lender, y'all. Trust me, because the lender, you're just making the money, and if you don't pay them back, they're going to chase after you. Remember, you gave them their details.
Yeah.
So they know where you
details.
Your details.
And they can repossess anytime.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you don't make that payment, nothing on your door.
Trust me.
So yes, the borrowers are our first financial lifestyle. The second one is the consumer. So yeah, Jonathan.
So, the consumers. These couples, they love...
individuals.
Individuals, yep, true. Couples with individuals, they love to spend.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's credit card, whether it's cash, they just love to spend. And they have this paycheck mentality.
Yeah.
Let me explain. When you get paid, the first thing that comes to mind is spend.
Yeah.
Savings is a myth. Investments is a myth. Even emergency fund is a myth. It's like, yo, we got this money, what can we spend it on?
Yeah.
And literally at the end of the month, they spend to the single pound. And it's like, yo, and it's one of the ones that have that mentality where, flip, where all the money went? You know what I mean? Because you built that habit of spending, you know, not telling where your money is going.
Yeah.
Always just finding the latest thing, you know, and then you're wondering how to make those big purchases, like for a sofa, a car, fridge, any of these things, and you just keep wondering where's all the money gone, and literally just wait until the next paycheck. I mean, you just keep repeat the cycle over and over again. And instead of owning things, having a real net worth, you're literally just renting.
Yeah.
And then now you're wondering, are we going to even make the monthly payments at the end of the month? Are we going to be able to even cover the bill?
Yeah.
And this will really, really build up a strain on not only your couple's relationships, but even relationship with other people. And, you know, whenever you go to shops or wherever you know, go with friends and you talk about financial circumstances, it's really hard because you don't feel like you own anything. Because at the back of your mind, you're like, wait, we have to pay that at the end of the month. So this paycheck mentality, it's not really healthy, y'all. And not only that, your needs are no longer needs. Your wants are now your needs.
Yeah.
And then needs are like non-essential, wants are now essential.
And I guess as well, their main focus is just, we get paid, we work for our money so we can spend it how we want. I guess that kind of sums it all up. Like, I work for my money so I can spend it how I want and just blow. There's no perspective of the future. They don't think about retiring. They don't think about leaving a wealth to pass on to their children if they desire to.
And I guess as well, at the same time, you know, consumers, they have that desire of, you know what, I just want to have so much because so much feels so good. And not gonna lie, it's good to have stuff. But when you don't have savings and investment after having those stuff, we're not saying you shouldn't have good stuff, but you need to be careful on what you are spending on, and if you have enough money just to cover any unexpected circumstances or costs.
So the consequence of being a consumer would be just like a borrower. If an emergency was to rise, they wouldn't have anything to cover. If something was to happen, they would probably have to rely on the government. So all these things that could be avoided, even savings, they can't accomplish financial goals because they don't make it a priority. They just have a tunnel vision, like, I just want to spend, and that's it.
And last but not least, this financial lifestyle is what we probably would encourage.
Yes.
But not only limit yourself on, you can develop this lifestyle.
Very true.
And this is the financial lifestyle of the keepers. Or I would like to call them. What is it?
AKA.
Oh, AKA wealth builders. So these kind of people, this kind of financial lifestyle is where you don't want to be like the borrowers.
Nope.
You don't want to be like the consumers.
No.
You want to think about your net worth.
Yes.
Not just your net income.
Yes.
Your net income is what you earn or money that you generate, which is good.
Yeah.
But your net worth is what do you actually own?
Yes. What are your assets?
What are your assets?
What can you bring to the table?
You know, what can you bring to the table? You know what I mean? Not what you rented. You know what you borrowed. What you own. You know what I mean? Because your net worth is really important because you need to make sure that your assets are always more than your liabilities. And not just that your income is more or just reaching over the amount of your expenses. Yeah. So this kind of couple or people, they always make sure they have financial goals. Yeah. They fix onto it. And whatever principles they put in place, that's what drives and influences their decisions. They don't go by the impulsive buying or spending. They always go by the credit cards. And, you know, these people don't need to be like billionaires. You know, regardless of their income, whether it's, you know, low income or high income, they ensure that the net worth is important and they need to make sure that they are doing everything that they can to achieve those financial goals.
And I think as well, a lot of people focus on like, oh, how much income can I get? How much income can I get? And you'd be surprised, people who don't have as much income can still build up a high level of net worth. So yeah, that's something.
That's really key. Important. That's really key.
For us to remember as well, like, let's not just focus on how much income you're bringing in, but what are your assets that you're bringing to the table?
No, definitely. And these people, they may use credit cards, but they make sure that they pay that credit card in full. Full, full, by the end of the month. Making sure they get no interest on top of their credit cards and payments. And they make sure that, you know, wherever they might borrow, they pay that straight away. Or they might even avoid borrowing and be like, you know what, instead of borrowing, we're going to save this cash. We're going to delay our purchase or pleasure, gratification for the future. But you might be thinking, but wait, that means I ain't never gonna get it. No. Because you delayed your pleasure or gratification does not mean you will never get it. If you plan for it, you'll surely get it. It may not be now, but that's your focus. That's your financial goal that you're aiming for. And if you don't aim for anything, then you will always be hitting that target. So, these wealth builders are all about, what can we own? What can we work for? What can we do that will generate more cash so that we can put more into our savings, more into our investments? As Deborah was saying earlier on, what we can leave for our children and their children's children and their children's children throughout all generations. They're thinking about inheritance. They're thinking about the future. What can we do now to benefit in the future? What can we do now to invest in our future? What can we do now so that in the future we won't be looking back in regret, but we'll be looking back saying, I'm glad, or we're glad that we did this.
And even in the present as well, like, it's just good to know that you can go to bed, sleep peacefully without knowing, someone's gonna come knock on the door. Or even if they're not, just having that freedom to know, like, I own this house in full, I own this car in full. Do you know what I mean? That gratification of one's hard work has flourished, and not having part ownership with someone else. Do you get what I mean?
Definitely. So, and just a point there, just in case you don't may be thinking, so wait, are you trying to say I shouldn't rent a house? No. If you're renting, good. Just make sure your income is more than your expenses, so that at the end of the month you can cover your rent. So please just make sure you're clear on that. We're not saying you can't rent. You can buy. Just make sure that your net worth is always growing, not only your net income. Guys, please, we are not saying that these keepers or the wealth builders or these kind of things or this mentality does not mean they're not living a good life. They're living a nice life. They got a nice house. They got a nice, decent car in good condition. It's just that they are ensuring that they set aside a certain amount of money on a regular basis each month. They're always thinking long term. They have that long term commitment. And when you have that mentality, it will help you to really be careful and effective with the way you deal with your money. Because if you don't deal with your money in a wise way and intentionally and proactively, then your money will start to feel like it's ruling you, or you'll feel like the money's just... I'm not in control. Like, once I get paid, boom, I don't even see the money. You know what I mean? So being a keeper or having that wealth builder mentality does not mean you're not living a nice life. Does not mean you don't have a nice car, nice home. Nah. The way you go about it, it can help you to have those nice things in life. So those are the 3 financial lifestyles. The borrowers, the consumers, and
the keepers.
aka wealth builders. I like that. So I hope that helped. Probably you may have thought, you know what, I cannot relate to that. You know what, I think we're not in that. Or you know what,
you might be all of them.
There you go, you might be all of them. And it is possible. It is possible. But just make sure that the both of you as a couple, or even you just as an individual, you choose a financial lifestyle that you know will help you achieve your goals, build up wealth, and make sure at the end of the month you are not worrying about any expenses or payments, but know and ensure that as long as I tell every single £1 where to go, I won't worry on what those pounds will be doing, because I know since I've planned, they'll be doing what I told or what you told those pounds or those money that you have to do. Yes, guys, and don't worry, we'll be coming up with some goodies in our next video for you guys. So please continue to share our videos and like it, and comment below, let us know what you think about this video, and maybe any lifestyles that you are currently on or you're aspiring to be. So we'll see you in our next video. Yes indeed. See you next time. Bye guys. Bye.